The Magic School Bus presents Insects, a Scholastic Inc. publisher book. What is an insect? Insects are the only animals that don't have backbones that can fly. These mayflies have 4 wings, but some insects have just 2 wings. Name an insect, said Miss Frizzle. Beetle, shouted Arnold. A butterfly, shouted Keisha. You're both right, said Miss Frizz. Insects have 3 pairs of legs, wings, and no backbones. Let's go meet some. To find out all about insects, let's shrink down to their size. Thorax. The thorax is in the middle of the body. Head. The eyes, mouth, and antennas are in the head. Abdomen. An insect's abdomen is usually soft. This tiger beetle's abdomen is out of sight beneath its wings. Tiger beetles have long legs for running. They run faster than any other insect. How do insects breathe? By Wanda. All animals need oxygen to survive. They use it to turn food into the energy that powers their bodies. There is oxygen in the air and in water. A large animal like human gets its oxygen by breathing air into the lungs. But insects do not have lungs. Instead, their bodies are covered in tiny holes called spiracles. Air comes in through these openings and then it falls to all parts of their body. Frizzle fact: around 2/3 of all animal species on Earth are insects. So far, scientists have named nearly 1 million different types of insects. Tough beetle. Male stag beetles appear to have long horns. In fact, these horns are part of the mouth. Instead of using them to feed, the stag beetle uses them as weapons in fighting over females. The winner is the one who knocks the other beetle off the branch. Frizzle fact: diving beetles look for new places to swim by flying around during a full moon. If a beetle spots the moon's reflection in a pond, it knows it's found a place to swim. There are more types of beetles than any other kind of insect. They include ladybugs and fireflies. Beetles have round bodies covered in tough armor. They live in all sorts of places. Some swim in ponds, while others live on top of sand dunes. Can beetles fly? By Dorothy Ann. Most beetles can fly. They keep their wings safe beneath tough covers on their backs. Like most flying insects, beetles have 4 wings. However, they only use the delicate hind pair for flying. The front pair is a tough cover. When it's time to fly, the beetle folds the covers out of the way and flying wings to work. Even large beetles like the Titan, which is a massive 6.5 inches, 16.5 centimeters long, can fly, although it does not go very fast. Jewel beetles have brightly colored bodies that shimmer in the sun. Some baby beetles are called grubs. They don't look like adult beetles. They look more like worms. This is a giraffe wee. Male giraffe weevils have long necks. They use them for flying and for showing off to females. Beautiful butterflies. Butterflies are easy to see as they flutter around flowers on a sunny day. Butterflies and moths belong to the same group of insects. Both have 4 wings, but the front and back wings on each side lock together and work like one large wing. This is a Saturn moth. Moth usually flies at nighttime. They're less brightly colored than butterflies. Tasting food. A butterfly's feet have taste detectors. The butterfly knows if something is good to eat just by standing on it. Glad I don't taste things with my feet. Eyes and antennas. Butterflies have big eyes for spotting flowers. They use antennas to smell, feel, and taste. Bright colors. Wing patterns are created by tiny plates of scales layered on the wings, a bit like tiles on a roof. Butterfly feeds mostly on nectar from wildflowers. They also drink plant sap and the juices of rotten fruits. Feeding tube. A butterfly sucks nectar through a long tube-shaped mouth part called a proboscis. When it is not in use, the proboscis coils up under the head. The Life Cycle of a Butterfly by Carlos. A butterfly starts as a caterpillar, which hatches from an egg. The caterpillar grows very fast and soon becomes a motionless pupa hanging from a branch. Inside the caterpillar changes. When the pupa opens, a butterfly flies away. Hopping crickets. Crickets and grasshoppers are noisy insects. They communicate by making loud clicking sounds. Crickets call to each other by rubbing rough sections of their wings together. Grasshoppers rub their wings and their legs together. The spiky katyd is a relative of the cricket. It is named for its call, which goes catty did, catty didn't. Frizzle fact. A cricket's ears are on its knees, while a grasshopper's ears are on its belly. All about locusts by Phoebe. Some grasshopper breeds rapidly when there is a lot of food around. This can happen in warm, dry parts of the world after a drought when food has been scarce. Grasshopper crowds together, eating whatever they can find. That's what starts a swarm. When they swarm, the grasshoppers develop into locusts. They form a huge cloud and fly around. More and more locusts join until eventually the swarm contains millions of insects. When they all eat at once, they can completely destroy farmers' crops. Crickets have long, thin antennae. Grasshoppers and locusts have a short, thick one. Crickets use their long back legs to hop forward. Adult crickets, like this one, can also fly, but younger ones, called nymphs, have no wings and can only jump. True bugs. A Psittacia spends most of its life as a wingless nymph, tunneling through the ground and sucking sap from the roots of plants. Adult Psittacias come above ground to find mates. Frizzle facts. A scaled bug protects itself by growing a shield of wax over its body. People collect the wax and use it in wood polish. Insects and other creepy crawlies are often called bugs, but bugs are actually just one type of insect, including Psittacias, aphids, and water striders. Bugs look a lot like beetles, but they have sucking mouth parts. Unlike beetles, you can usually see the tips of their wings sticking out at the back. The assassin bug is a stealthy hunter. It creeps up on its prey. This assassin bug sticks its long, needle-sharp mouthpart into prey and sucks them dry. How do bugs eat? By Roxy. A true bug has a long, needle-shaped mouthpart called a stylet. That is used to suck up liquid food. Most bugs drink sap, a liquid inside plant stems and roots. Sap is not very good. It's not a very good source of food. It's mostly water with a bit of sugar. So bugs spend a lot of time feeding. This animal is called a water scorpion, but it's actually a type of bug. The long spiked tail is not a stinger, but a breathing tube that pokes out of the water. Army of ants. Ants live and work as a team to support a queen ant. All the other ants in the nest are called workers. Some build the nest. Normally, a network of tunnels and chambers underground. Others fight off attackers. The oldest workers collect food from the outside of the nest. The queen ant lays eggs and her workers look after the young ants that hatch. They keep them clean and give them food. These ants left a trail of scent, so they called to find their way back to their nest. Frizzle fact: ants cannot swim. When a colony needs to cross over a river, the workers cling to one another, making a raft to carry the queen and her eggs across. Leafcutter ants collect bits of leaves. They use them to grow fungus gardens back inside the nest. The ants eat the fungus. An ant can carry many times its own weight. How do colonies work? By Keisha. All worker ants are females. They are the daughters of the queen who lay most of the eggs in the colony. Some workers lay eggs to produce male ants. The workers also look after their baby sisters, who will become workers once they are old enough. Every year, a number of baby ants are given more food and grow into winged ants. Both male and female, they fly away to mate. One of them, a new queen, sets up a colony of her own. Bees and wasps. This nest is home to hundreds of wasps. The wings of these paper wasps form Costa Rica look purple in the light. Frizzle fact: the giant Asian hornet is the largest in the world. A sting from its quarter-inch, 6-millimeter long stinger can be deadly. Bees and wasps are relative to ants, and many of them live in colonies, supporting a queen. Their bodies have yellowed and black stripes, a warning that these insects sting. Many wasps and bees hunt other insects, which they bring back to their nest and feed them to their young. Honeybee worker. Nectar supply. The honeybee sucks up nectar from flowers and stores it in a pouch in its throat. Pollen basket. A bee collects pollen from a flower and carries it back to the nest in balls stuck to its back legs. Why do bees make honey? By Tim. Honey is the honeybee's food. All the bees, young and old, eat it to make honey. Worker bees put the nectar and a bit of pollen they have collected in a chamber in the honeycomb. They fan the liquid so it doesn't dry into a thick, sweet goo honey. These bees store the honey to use as food in winter, when there are fewer flowers. They make so much that humans can have some too. Inside a beehive is the honeycomb, a series of chambers used to store food. The honeycomb also holds yummy bees as they grow. Acrobatic flyers. Flies are a group of fast-flying insects that have only 2 proper wings. They include houseflies and mosquitoes. Flies are very acrobatic creatures. They can fly upside down and do somersaults, or even go backwards. Houseflies start out as maggots. They have no legs and do nothing but eat. Mosquitoes are small flies that suck blood through a victim's skin. Frizzle facts. Bites from mosquitoes can spread dangerous diseases such as malaria and yellow fever. Houseflies can bite and chew, so they can only eat food in liquid form. Like humans, they have to make solid foods with saliva before they can eat them. Why is it so hard to swat a fly? By Wanda. Like nearly all insects, flies have compound eyes. Thousands of tiny lenses all looking at the same thing. That means flies can detect an object, like a swatter, the moment it starts moving toward them, and can dodge quickly out of the way. A housefly vomits its stomach juices onto food to turn it into liquid. Then the fly slurps it all up. Yuck. The praying mantis. Under threat, a praying mantis rises up on its back legs and stretches its front legs to make itself look as big as possible. Spikes on the front legs stick into prey to stop it from escaping. Praying mantis are fierce hunters. They wait for smaller insects and ambush them with lightning speed. A mantis grabs its prey in its huge front legs, which are folded into massive pincers, and then bites off its head. The mantis has large eyes to spot prey, and it can swivel its head around to see behind it. While watching for its next victim, a mantis holds its front legs in front of its head, like it's praying in church. That's how it got its name. Different mantis species have different colors. They often choose to camouflage themselves in locations where they blend in with their environment. Are mantis cannibals? By Arnold. A cannibal is an animal that eats other of its own kind. Scientists watching mantis, both in captivity and in the wild, have seen female mantis kill males after mating. In some cases, the female will also eat them. Not all species of praying mantis are cannibalistic, but in those that are, cannibalism happens pretty often. Cockroaches. A cockroach can eat almost any food in homes. It can survive on scraps of foods, grease, and even soap and glue. Frizzle fact. A cockroach can survive for a month without food and for a week without its head. One insect no one likes to see is the cockroach. In the wild, cockroaches eat rotting wood, dung, and fungus, but they are also found in homes. The roaches stay out of sight during the day, but come out at night to search for scraps of food. When frightened, the hissing cockroach produces a hissing sound by blowing air out of its abdomen. What makes an insect a pest? By Dorothy Ann. Roaches have spread all over the world in the last few hundred years. They like warm places to live that are not too dry. So a human home is perfect. Without predators, the numbers keep growing, and that's when they start to cause problems. Insects become pests when too many of them enter a house to eat scraps. Female roaches carry their eggs in a case that sticks out of the back of the abdomen. They lay the eggs, and the eggs hatch when the baby cockroaches are big enough. Whizzing dragonflies. Dragonflies are some of the fastest insect flyers in the world. They are hunters. They use their speed to chase other insects through the air. They swoop down to grab prey from the surface of water or nearby plants. Unlike dragonflies, damselflies fold their wings back against their bodies. Like dragonflies, damselflies live and hunt near slow-moving water, such as ponds and lakes. Frizzle facts. About 300 million years ago, there was a giant dragonfly with wings, 2 feet, 60 centimeters across. A dragonfly has 4 narrow wings and a long, slender abdomen. It also has huge eyes for tackling fast-moving prey. How do dragonflies fly? By Tim. Dragonflies are truly amazing flyers. They can fly in all directions, including backwards. They can even hover in one place, just like a helicopter. Their wings beat 30 times a second. When high-speed cameras are used to slow down a dragonfly's movements, they show the secret to their flying skills. Are 4 wings making at their own speed and in different directions. Different tactics. Insects have to defend themselves against attackers. Many of them use camouflage to stay out of sight. Others dash away to avoid getting trapped. Some insects fight back with bites and stings. Miss Frizzle showed us a bombarded beetle. It got ready to attack the school bus with its spray of scalding liquid. Quick! Time to head back to class, said Miss Frizz. The walking stick's body looks like a twig. It sways in the breeze and fools predators. Frizzle facts. When attacked by ants, some termites explode, covering the ants in sticky goo. The goo tangles up the ants, giving the rest of the termites time to escape. Spray gun. A mixture of liquids pumped into the tip of the beetle's abdomen creates a tiny explosion. It sends out a spray of hot gas and liquid. How does camouflage work? By Phoebe. Camouflage is when an insect uses patterns and colors to make its body look like something else. Some copy the colors of their surroundings to blend in unnoticed. Others disguise themselves as objects such as leaves, flowers, and twigs. Many harmless insects look like more dangerous insects. For example, a hoverfly has black and yellow stripes. That means it looks like a bee or wasp. This is called mimicry, and it helps keep predators away. A bombarded beetle sprays any attacker that touches it. A predator that manages to get the beetle in its mouth will soon spit it out. Working with insects. There are millions of species, or types of insects, so there is a lot to learn about them. Although insects are very rare in the ocean, they are found just about everywhere on land. Even though insects are small and can be hard to see, they play an important role in wildlife communities. These rocks the termites nest. This entomologist is studying the insects that live inside them. The end.